if you want. So we see that really when you're using multiple devices and data and display together, you very quickly need all this bandwidth and more. The third area is external graphics. So some of you may have seen or heard discussion about external graphics before over Thunderbolt. What this is taking a discrete graphics card or controller, putting it in an external box running over Thunderbolt to be able to enhance your graphics externally on an external monitor or actually in the notebook monitor as well. We think that a big application in the consumer space for this is gaming. Gamers really love this. There's kind of two flavors you can do here. One is the mobile graphics where, let's say it's paired with a notebook that maybe does not have discrete graphics. And so now you have outside the box, you have a dock that has mobile graphics as well as some I/O ports. I'll show an example here in a second of that scenario. Second would be if maybe you have a gaming laptop where you have discrete graphics in it, mobile discrete graphics, and now you can put a very high-end desktop quality, 200, 300 watt card, if you like, externally, plug it in a chassis, and then be able to connect it and get a desktop enthusiast level gaming experience. So we think this is an exciting new area to be able to work with Thunderbolt 3. We're actually working with AMD's graphics group on a driver that supports hot plug. So one of the key elements of this is just like any Thunderbolt device to be able to hot plug, surprise and move the cable. And so we're working with them on a driver that will do that to Windows 10. So I'll just kind of walk through this demo. I know you can't see it too well. Some of you were up here before, but I'll just explain what it is. You can come up later and take a look at it. And by the way, all of these demos here are based on very early prototype silicon, Alpine Ridge silicon. So they're really demonstrating, basic functionality of these usage models. They're sensitive, so please don't touch them. They'll get better soon. This is a notebook, as you can see, with Alpine Ridge in it, a single Thunderbolt 3 connector, Type-C connector, connected with a single cable to this dock here. This is a graphics dock. It has an AMD graphics, mobile graphics controller inside. It also has some I/O ports. This is demonstrating the single cable docking solution. So the first thing that it does, I lost my indicator here, but this is fully charged notebook. There are no wires, there are no adapters, power adapters back here. It's being charged from this guy only, from the dock. The second thing is you have a USB storage device here connected up on the USB port. And then we have two video cables coming out that are connected to these two 4K displays, playing a video, playing a photo slideshow. So all of this is working with even early prototype silicon with Alpine Ridge. And that will just get better over time as we work toward production. The other thing I'll point out is an example of just a regular docking station without a graphics controller. Sorry, guys. So this one is an example. It's actually very similar to Thunderbolt 2 docks that are in the market today for maybe $199 US. And you can see it has two Thunderbolt ports that you can daisy chain Thunderbolt 3. It has a DisplayPort port, a few USB ports, Ethernet, and audio. And this will be in the market for probably for the same price, $199, kind of the price point. All right, so the fourth area is Thunderbolt networking. So the Thunderbolt software driver emulates Ethernet, basically, over Thunderbolt. So what we have is we're essentially, especially to the operating systems, we're running Ethernet on Thunderbolt speeds. So we call it 10 gigabit Ethernet for free. If you have Thunderbolt in your computers and you have a Thunderbolt cable, you can do Ethernet networking essentially at very high speed. So you can do peer-to-peer connection between two computers and do quick file transfers. You can do fast PC migrations. You can actually create a small work group of a few computers together, working together with shared storage. It was actually recently, or even shown here at the Computex, QNAP has a NAS with a Thunderbolt 2. And so you'd be able to share storage or direct attach storage on this network. The other thing to point out is that the software driver, we've actually created the driver to work with both Windows, Linux, and the Mac. So you can have a cross-platform environment where you're connecting up computers with all the different operating systems. Okay, let me talk about cables for a minute. There's a few cable options for Thunderbolt 3. The first one is what we call a passive cable. So again, for those of you who've been following Thunderbolt for a while, one of the challenges that Thunderbolt's had is the cable being an active cable is a little more expensive than maybe some people would like. And so we've addressed that with Thunderbolt 3. We have a cable option that's a passive 20 gigabit per second cable that's actually based on the standard USB-C cable. So it's going to be high volume, it's going to be lower cost, and for a lot of devices, 20 gigabits per second would be sufficient, so people can use this cable. And that'll be in lengths up to 2 meters. The cable supports 20 gigabit Thunderbolt, USB as well. You can plug in a USB device or DisplayPort. The second option is an active cable, which takes you all the way to the full 40 gigabit per second bandwidth. And so just like we have with Thunderbolt today, you'll need an active cable there, which will be a little bit more, probably a similar cost to the Thunderbolt cables today. So if you're doing a very rich docking environment or 4K workflow, you probably want to use the active 40 gig cables. And again, those will be in lengths up to 2 meters. And then also, as there are optical cables in the market today with Thunderbolt 2, we'll be working on optical cables for Thunderbolt 3. These are under development. They're going to take a little bit of time, but we expect to see those out in sometime in 2016. And those will go up to 60 meters as they do today with Thunderbolt 2. We're also working on an adapter to provide Thunderbolt compatibility. And this is really backward and forward compatibility with Thunderbolt and Thunderbolt 2. So this adapter can either plug into a new Thunderbolt 3 host, and then on the other end have an existing Thunderbolt or Thunderbolt 2 device. Or the other way around, you can plug it into a Thunderbolt 2 host and then plug it into a new Thunderbolt 3 device. So this will be in the market later on as well. And the last thing that I want to talk about is how to identify Thunderbolt 3. Because by the way, we said the Type-C port is a very flexible port. There's going to be various versions in the market. There already are. USB 2, USB 3, USB 3.1, etc. So we want to make sure that users can identify Thunderbolt 3. So first of all, we have the name Thunderbolt 3 as the next generation. Very simple. We'll use the same logo graphic as we have today with Thunderbolt, and also the same connector icon. So users will look for that Thunderbolt icon if they're looking on a device or a cable to make sure that they have a certified Thunderbolt 3 product or cable. So we're working with the industry to make sure those are identifiable, people know what they're using. So again, we'll continue the Thunderbolt certification program to make sure that these products all work together. So in summary, as we said, Thunderbolt 3 is 40 gigabit per second Thunderbolt, USB 3.1 10 gigabits per second, and DisplayPort 1.2, all behind the USB-C connector. For the first time, one computer port can connect to any device, Thunderbolt devices, billions of USB devices, every display that's out there, at least through an adapter. Provides 4 times the data bandwidth and twice the video bandwidth of any other cable, and also supplies power. You can use it for all these new exciting uses that are coming out. It's going to be unrivaled in those areas in terms of being able to connect a single cable to 4K video, single cable docking, external graphics, and built-in 10 gigabit Ethernet networking. And the last point is, Kurt talked about some of the products that are going to be coming out soon. We're expecting initial products with Thunderbolt 3 to start shipping before the end of this year and ramping into 2016. So we're very excited about the future there. And at this point, I'll